Well, just getting ready to head out in the woods here for the day with the two dogs to do a bit of rabbit hunting and set some snares and stuff. But before we head out, I'm going to be doing a batch of moose jerky in my smoker tomorrow. So it has to go in the marinade seasoning for 24 hours to cure before I put it in the smoker. So that's what I'm doing here first thing this morning. So I figured I'd do a little video of it. So yeah, anyways, basically I got 4 pounds of moose meat here. So last night, while it was still like somewhat frozen, I sliced it up in little narrow, about 1/4 inch thick strips. I find it easier to slice when it's still like partially frozen. So yeah, it's got a bunch of narrow strips of moose meat here. Like I said, about 1/4 inch or so thick. So that's been in the fridge all night. So I got to get the seasoning on it here this morning. So yeah, I ended up getting a young cow this year. So it turned out to be really excellent meat. I've had a few meals of it already, and can't wait to do some of this jerky now. It's going to be good. So I'm going to be using one of these kits here. I've used these before. They turn out pretty good. Sometimes I'll make up my own recipe with some some different spices and stuff, but these kits really make it easy. Comes with 2 packets inside. One is your cure and the other is just like a spice mixture, and this one's sweet and spicy. So yeah, it tells you all the instructions inside. You got to mix so much of pack 1 and pack 2 in this little shaker, and you basically just sprinkle this all over the meat here, which I'm going to do in a second, and make sure all the meat is covered good with this this spice mixture. And then you just set it in the fridge for 24 hours, and then like I said, tomorrow morning we'll be getting it in the smoker. Alright, so I just took all the moose meat out of the dish here because there was some blood and stuff that I guess drained out of the meat overnight in the fridge. So I just put it on a plate and I wiped all the blood and stuff out of the glass dish that I'm going to use. So all I'm going to do now is sprinkle a layer of seasoning down on the bottom of my dish first, like so. And then I'm just going to start laying my strips of meat down so they get coated on the bottom with the seasoning. So it's really important when you're doing jerky like this to make sure all the meat gets a good coating of that cure and seasoning, because you want the meat to cure here when I put it in the fridge for the night. Also important to trim any fat or silver skin off of the meat. You don't want any of that on your jerky. The fat can go rancid on you. So I trimmed this up really well last night. And moose meat is a really lean meat anyway, so it's really good for jerky. But you do want to trim it up nice and good, get any fat and stuff off of it. So yeah, I got 1 layer down now, so I'm just going to give it a good healthy sprinkle of seasoning again on top. And then we'll do another layer. So just going to keep layering it up like this, and each layer I'm going to cover in seasoning. Make sure I use up all the seasoning that I got measured out here for the 4 pounds of meat. Alright, so got all the seasoning used up here, all the meat. Got a good coating of seasoning on it. So all I'm going to do now is cover this over with some saran wrap, and we'll place it back in the fridge. Like I said, supposed to leave it for a minimum of 24 hours is what it says on the instructions that come with the seasoning. So I'm gonna put this back in the fridge, and later on this evening now, when I come home, I'll take this back out and just stir it around, mix all the meat around, make sure that there are no pieces that didn't get any seasoning on it. And tomorrow morning we'll be putting it in the smoker. Alright, so it's the next morning now. So our moose meat has been in the fridge in the marinade for 24 hours, which is exactly what we're looking for. So I took it out of the fridge a couple of times throughout the day yesterday and just mixed it around a little bit, make sure all the pieces were coated with the marinade. So as you can see, it changed color a little bit, so that's what happens as the meat cures with the spice mixture. Alright, so the smoker is all set up outside. It's just coming up to temperature. So I just grabbed my racks. I got 4 racks with this smoker. I'm using a Bradley smoker. So I got my 4 racks, and I'm just laying out my meat now. So I try and space it up the best I can. You don't want to have the pieces too close together. So looks like I got pretty much the perfect amount here for these 4 racks. So should work out pretty good. So yeah, just gonna get the rest of the pieces laid out on my racks here, and then we'll get outside and get some smoke on this. Alright, so we're using Hickory wood chips today. Hickory is probably my favorite flavor of all, so that's the one I use most of the time. So yeah, it's starting to smoke pretty good here now. So basically we just gotta leave this now. I'm gonna monitor the temperature. We're only at 100 degrees Fahrenheit there now, but I had the door open there for a few minutes, so she cooled down a little bit. So I want to get up to around between 180 and 200 is what I usually aim for. And you just want to keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't get any hotter than 200, because we don't want this jerky to cook. We just want it to slowly dry out and smoke over probably 6 to 8 hours. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it now, and we'll check back here in a few hours. I usually flip the racks around and rotate them every couple hours just to make sure everything cooks evenly. Well, it's another beautiful November day here at the cabin. A little chilly, but beautiful sunny day. Alright, so we're about 2 hours into the smoke here. Oh yeah, it's looking good. So I'm just going to take the racks out now and rotate them around a little bit. And yeah, this may not take as long as I was thinking. I'd say another couple hours, and this should be pretty well done. So I'm going to flip the pieces over as well now. Make sure both sides get evenly smoked and dried. Yeah, it's looking good. Alright, so we're about 3.5 hours into the smoke here now, and I think we're pretty much done. Oh yeah, look at that. So So yeah, this is done. I'm gonna get it off before it gets overdone. So the way I tell if it's done, when you bend it, you want to be able to bend it without breaking off. If it breaks off, then it's overdone. So you want it to be able to bend, but you also want it to break open just a little bit on the surface like that. So yeah, I think this is pretty much perfect. So I'm gonna get a bowl now and get it off. Oh yeah, look at that big old bowl of sweet and spicy moose jerky. Well, beautiful evening here now at the cabin. So got a nice fire going here, and ready to do a taste test on the moose jerky. So I got it all right here. Turned out really good, but I can't do a proper taste test without a nice cold beer to wash it down with. So cheers. All right, let's try a piece. Goose, you want a piece, bud? Boy. Oh yeah, it's good. So I used the sweet and spicy jerky kit that I showed there earlier. I don't get a whole lot of flavor from the seasoning though. Most of the flavor I'm getting, I think, is from the hickory smoke from the smoker. But anyways, it turned out really good nonetheless. There you go, bub. So Goose is here, bumming some jerky. Molly's in the cabin there. She's pretty tired now after a long weekend in the woods, setting traps and snares and stuff. So just want to say thanks to everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. Really appreciate the support so far, and we'll see you on the next one.